Yo, what's going on everyone? Spazy64 here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my full guide walkthrough to my open world action adventure map, Tales of the Explorer Open World Quest. Now this adventure map is solo player, but it can be played up to 4 players. So if you want to play cooperative with some friends, you are super welcome to do that. It will not break the map. Everything will function great. Now with this map, it is almost completely non-linear, and what that means essentially is that you can play the dungeons in any order you want. You can also do side quests in any order. It is completely up to you. The main objective of this game is to find your lost father who went missing during a dangerous expedition when you were young. Essentially, now we are older and we are an explorer ourselves, looking for a sacred pendant that has magical properties and will show us wherever our heart desires most. Pendant is located in a secret land named Arquebus, and that is essentially going to be the map that we are going to be playing on. Now, if it's your first time playing, you can actually go into the show tutorial and it'll show you beacons that you can interact with. If you interact with this book, it'll show you a quest log, essentially what your current level is, how to get to the next level, and where you're at with your objectives. If you go to the next page, it'll show you exactly how much progress you've made with the main story objectives and the side quest objectives, going back to the previous tab, and then just look down to exit the menu. As you can see here, we got different things that we can farm, essentially, and mine. So these rocks right here are flint, essentially flint stones. And you get brick from farming them. So as you can see, my brick count is going up, and all you gotta do is pickaxe these particular rocks. That will be dispersed around the map, essentially, and the amount that you get will be randomized, but they are important and necessary for certain things in the map. For example, this torch, you need 30 wood and 30 brick. If you go to these bundles of wood, it'll be exactly the same. Essentially, you'll get wood. As you can see that the wood is going up, and it's a randomized amount. And then once you have enough, you can actually just interact with that and you will be able to pick up a torch. Now the torch is not permanent, by the way. The torch is will run out eventually. So you'll have to keep gathering resources to get that. Now, in order to actually convert your flint to gold, you can actually walk up to this furnace, and if you have 50 brick, then you can convert that to gold, and it'll give you 25 gold every time you have 50 brick. You can also catch fish, which can be used for cooking recipes. All you gotta do is walk up to the cooking pot, interact with it, and your fish will upgrade. Pick it up again. Cook the flopper. After you cook it, you'll get a slurpfish delight. Now you can use these obviously to increase your health. And you might even have them requested by certain NPCs. You can also stoke the campfire for 100 wood and it'll give you a med kit. Now, first things first, before we head into the town, we'll see a monkey with a key. It's gonna say, hey, he's running away, and you gotta basically chase this monkey. Essentially, this is a side quest, but it will pay off if you do this. Now, essentially, the monkey is going to have something that we're going to need. He'll say, bring me something tasty from town, and I give you a key. And it says, place fruit. So we're going to have to go grab some fruit. So just to show you guys like how to get back in case there's a little bit of confusion because the branch broke, you could just parkour basically up the broken branch and go back to where you came from. Now, we're going to go left this time, and we're going to enter this white open area, and we're going to enter the town. Now, it is nighttime. There is a day and night cycle with this, and zombies will come out at nighttime. So just be prepared for that. You will start off with a pistol to kind of help you out there. And you'll notice this man, John the Tailor. Oh, hello, stranger. Can you help an old man out? Some punk monkey stole my keys from me, and I'm locked out of my own shop. I'm far past my days to go into that forest, and he probably came from the way that you went. So you see an apple here. As long as you got 20 gold, you can take that apple, bring it to the monkey, and voila, make the monkey happy. You're a nice person. And he gives you the key back, and you gotta just take it back to John. Oh my goodness, you're a lifesaver. Please come in. So you did a good deed for an NPC. Now the shop will be open. And if you talk to him upon walking in, it's like, thank you very much here, and he'll actually give you 100 coins for helping him out. Now, these are different outfits that you can purchase. This one is feather shoes. It gives you speed. And as you can see, my character is running significantly faster. The other one was armor. So you have a choice. You can either go back and forth, one or the other type of thing. You can't have both. Now, if you go in here to the James Armstrong, basically, shop, you can see that there's guns and ammunition and stuff that you can get. There's also coins around the map, as you can see, that you can collect, and you'll basically find randomized gold. You have those two options to either farm flint and convert that, or you can just find hidden gold around the map. Again, you can do all of this in any order you want. I'm just going to start with the lake area, right? Now, there is a flint location right over here. If you want to farm up, I recommend farming as much as you can in the beginning, just so you got resources to buy stuff. Then over here, you're gonna see a coin and a little coral buddy. He's gonna say, hey, funny story, I was taking a lunch break and got lost. My bandmates are probably worried about me. So you can take him, and now you just initiated a side quest. So you basically gotta return him to his buddies, right? His little band. So we're gonna go right and basically enter a checkpoint, which essentially is like the beginning of lake area. So every area has at least one dungeon, some NPCs you can interact with, and items you can buy, and little different things like that. So the thing is, if you try to jump in the water without having a scuba mask, it'll literally push you back out and say, hey, it's probably not a good idea to jump in a deep lake without scuba gear. You can open up your quest log and kind of see what you got so far, and every time you've done something, you'll get a check mark. Now we'll convert some of our brick to gold. And a little shortcut, if you actually go over here where it says enter, it'll basically take you down this big water slide and actually take you out to where the overworld is. So just a little shortcut to kind of get you over there. Now I'm gonna go back to the firearms area. We got some gold. Pick up a green AR, because you can't go wrong with the green AR, right? So the zombies don't drop you anything when you eliminate them, but they will become a challenge for you in certain areas. So once you have enough gold, you can go ahead and buy the scuba mask at the shop. And as soon as you purchase it, you can now deep dive in deep water safely. And as soon as you jump in, you're gonna be good. Now, you will see an anchor, and if you go up to that anchor, essentially the fisherman over there will just teleport you back up to where you came from, so you can exit the lake. You'll see some coins dispersed around, so essentially you can, go around and parkour and get some coins and have some fun with that. But eventually you're gonna run up to these corals, and hey, they're looking for their buddy, and if you happen to pick him up already, you can set him down, and they end up giving you musical notes that they're singing. A sharp, G, A, F sharp. And this is part of the puzzle. If you go back up, you will notice that the clams are now open, and it's just an order type of thing. So you have to hit the order that you get, and okay. And then we're gonna resume, and as soon as you hit all the notes in the correct order that the coral buddies gave you, boom, the water dungeon will open. And now you can enter. So this is the first dungeon that we're basically going through. Again, this could be your last dungeon. Oh, you could also exit by going backwards if you need to. So it doesn't matter what order you go in. This is just the order that I'm choosing to go in, and you can certainly follow this order and along with me if you'd like. So as soon as you hit that button, it'll act like a pressure plate that'll initiate the fan. Now we're gonna need that key to actually open the door. Oh. And it's a little tricky, these fans. So you kind of have to time your jump properly, but if I do it like that, boom, okay. Get the dungeon key, and then, yeah, like I said, gets a little tricky. And then now we can open this door. So for this puzzle, it's a little bit trickier, but not too crazy. You're gonna have to jump on this pressure plate, and you're gonna activate this vent over here. Then you're gonna have to jump up here, go through, but you're on a time limit. So as long as you can do it under 10 seconds, you will make it through this door. Otherwise, you're gonna get punished and have to try again. Now that we're in this room, we're gonna just take out some zombies, kind of get them out of the way. Cool. And essentially what we're gonna have to do is grab all the 3 glowing pyramids in order to like progress past this place. So we got one, that one just takes a little bit of parkour, and we'll see a block here. You could actually pick up this block and it'll go in your inventory. It says, whoa, this block is heavy, I need to place it down. Note, you can't throw these, even though it's in your inventory, and it shows that you can attempt to throw it, you can't. You could just set them down. Now, we can't get that one yet, but you notice that this wall over here is broken. So if we actually shoot that down, what do you know? We got a pressure plate, boom. So we activate that, and that actually will disable the vent that was kind of trolling us earlier, and now we can grab that pyramid. And the last thing you gotta do is go up here, and now if you see we have an interaction right there, we can place the block down, right? So all you gotta do is place that down, and now you can get that pyramid. Once you hear that sound, the water will disperse, and now you are actually ready for the boss fight. There will always be this refill ammo crate per every boss, and all players will get this. Again, if it's solo, whatever it is, you'll get it. And you just enter, and boom. We are now in the boss fight. All you gotta do is basically shoot the heads off, but they will attack you with a wave, so you gotta watch out for that. So you just gotta keep shooting them, and as you notice, I got jumped off, basically, right? Or pushed off, so they will have a tidal wave attack, which will completely knock you off. So you basically just gotta evade. Then once you defeat all 3 heads, you can now grab the orb, and it'll actually upgrade you to the next level. So now at level 2, your max health will increase by 50. And you will still keep your speed suit that you had, and you can collect the pendant and exit the dungeon. Remember, there's 3 pendants you have to have, so a total of 3 dungeons that you're gonna have to go through in order to complete the main story quest. Now for the next thing, I'm gonna show us the llama side quest. So you see that llama over there? We're actually gonna go ahead and walk up to that llama and grab it. So essentially this is part of the Yahj side quest, where she's missing 3 llamas, and you're gonna need to go return her llamas. So all you gotta do is find the llamas, there's one right here, carry the llama, and boom, it'll go right on your back. Do not drop this llama anywhere, because if you do, it will automatically get cleared in the map, and there's no coming back, basically, from that. And it's just a part of how Fortnite operates. That's just how that item works. So make sure you just keep it on your back and get 1 llama at a time. There's a total of 3 of them. When I walk out of here, you will see Yahj over here, just hanging out, and a female explorer. And she basically just, you know, is asking for you to return them. So you just gotta go up to here, interact, and you'll give back 1. Now the next location, you just gotta jump on this bouncy mushroom, and you gotta build a bridge. As long as you have 300 wood, you can build this bridge and get up to this llama. Carry the llama, boom. That makes 2 out of 3. And there's some, you know, look for bundles of wood and certain spots where you can get those wood. And in almost every area, there's gonna be bundles of wood and flintstone that you can farm. You just kind of explore and look for them. So now that we gave back that, we only got 1 more. And the last one is actually gonna be in this hidden secret cave called the Thieves' Cave. So all you gotta do is break the stone. Now you can enter, and you'll see that there's thieves over here that, you know, I'm sure fairly got all these items, right? And then you can carry that llama, and there you go. Now, before we exit here, you could actually bargain with him, give him 50 coins, and he'll let you open this chest, and it's completely RNG every time you do it. And wow, that is some great RNG. We got the minigun from there, so hopefully you are as fortunate to get good RNG like that. Once you have all the llamas, she's like, oh my goodness, you're a lifesaver, thank you, and actually give you redeploy. And now with the redeploy, you can get coins that were impossible to get without the redeploy. And it just makes the gameplay a little bit more fun. The redeploy is not completely necessary in order to finish or complete the game. It's just extra stuff that allows you to kind of like get certain coins or chests that you maybe couldn't have gotten without the glider redeploy. Now the next thing we're gonna do is another side quest, and we're gonna go into Benjie's cave. You can see it on the minimap as well. Enter this cave and we'll see a bear. Hey, any slurpfish by chance? They're so tasty. We actually happen to have a slurpfish, so we're gonna put one in the barrel for him. So you need 5 total. The easiest way, honestly, you can do this is go back to the beginning, like your home base, and wait for the fish to respawn, and just grab the fish and just keep collecting small fry and upgrading them to the the slurp fish till you have enough. Once you have enough, put all the fish in the barrel. He'll say, "Yay, thank you, kind human. Please take this." He'll give you 50 coins, a half pot, and a blue lever action shotgun. The next thing you can do is also make a torch out in the overworld area. And if you notice, in between the desert and where the forest area is, there are these vines that are kind of hidden around a little bit. And as long as you have the torch, you can actually light the vines and they'll burn down. And now it gets rid of the barrier and you can actually get a chance chest, and it's another RNG chest, basically. Now, if you go all the way to the right, you'll see all this fog and a gnome here saying, "Oh, you won't get very far at all past the labyrinth behind me." And he is correct. If you see this, you will not be able to go. You can try and attempt, but as soon as you get to a certain point, it'll just throw you back. You are just not able to withstand this fog and see at all where you're going. Doesn't matter what direction you go, you will constantly just keep getting pushed back. So here's what you got to do. You actually got to go back, kind of where you were coming from. If you go the direction I'm going and you look to your right, there's going to be like a little secret hidden area, actually. You'll see some particles, and you will actually enter a Gnome Hideout. All right, and the first thing you're going to want to do here is talk to this Elder Gnome, and the Elder Gnome is essentially going to be saying that there's this wizard that's been taken over, and he's evil, and he needs our help. So if we say we'll help him out, then he'll help us out and get us through that maze. We actually have to go ahead and grab this shield bubble, which is a quote-unquote the capture device, and we need to bring him an owl, basically, and he can give us owl vision to go past the labyrinth. As you can see, this barrier has been casted by the wizard. We can't get past it that way, so we have to go through the labyrinth. So there will be a beacon right here that'll show you where the owl is. And all you got to do is throw the shield bubble device or capture device directly at the owl, and bang, you will capture it. And as you can see, that owl actually goes in your inventory. Bring it back to the gnome. Voila. Don't worry, the owl is safe and sound, but he is going to give us owl vision, essentially, right? Or owl vision contact lenses. And now it's going to be a lot easier to get past the maze. And as you can see, once you get that, it's a lot more visible. The fog essentially goes away. Now, follow exactly where I'm going. That way you won't have to get too lost in this maze. It can get kind of crazy if it's your first time and you're just not really sure where you're going. Now, if you do get a little bit lost and kind of like go away from the correct path, there will be coins and even maybe possible chests that you can get. But as long as you go the way I'm going, boom, you will end up getting to the forest dungeon. And then we see that gnome that we saw earlier saying, I guess you're going to defeat the evil wizard. That's awesome. I'll just let you take over from here. So it looks like they're leaving it up to you. Now, before you enter this, you can actually go back here and there will be a coin and another RNG chest to get weapons. As soon as you're ready to go, enter the dungeon. Now, you won't be able to get through the left door or the door that's directly in front of you, but you can enter the right door and grab that evil pumpkin collectible, right? And as soon as you grab that, it'll give you access to the room to the left that had that purple barrier, right? And once you go in there, you basically just need to activate these things by either shooting it, pickaxing it, and it will activate the main generator and allow you to go through that door that was in front of you that was blocked before. After this one, this is just gonna be a classic trap tunnel. You just gotta basically go through, and once you get to the other side of it, you'll have generator A that you activate. Now you can take the speed boost, and you will notice that where that main generator B is, will open the door for you. Take care of the zombie in the path, and you are good to go. We're on to the next part. So for this part, same thing what we did earlier with the vines. We're gonna have to burn this down in order to proceed. Now, don't worry if you don't have enough resources to make the torch. There will be flintstone here and bundles of wood that'll give you the amount of resources. You just need 30 per resource. Once you have that, you can get the torch, and now you can light the vines. Now for this part, it's gonna give you dark fragments, which are essentially shadow bombs. That's gonna allow you to move along with the dungeon further. If you look over here, you'll actually be able to go up, but the only way you could go up is with these shadow bombs, and you're essentially gonna have to use the 3 shadow bombs that you got properly. But if this is something that's, you know, pretty difficult for you, you can basically wait. The shadow bombs will basically regenerate, and you can, you know, collect up to like 8 if you want, in case you feel like you might fail a couple times doing it. And just do it the way that I'm doing it, and you will be able to get to the top and clear the shadow bomb part. Now, once we're up here, we're gonna wanna actually gather enough materials to craft a torch if we don't have enough, because we're gonna have to go ahead and light the vines again in order to get access to one of the generators. And for this one, you're gonna actually need to activate 2 generators. You can break this rock over here, and that'll automatically activate that generator. Also get some flintstone along the way, and now we have enough. We can craft the torch, essentially, right? Because if we go through this way, that second generator that we need, it's blocked by vines, right? So we're gonna go ahead and grab that torch because we have enough resources. Boom. Once we got the torch, I'll walk up to the vines, light them, and activate this one. This one's not automatic. Cool. You'll hear that sound cue telling you that now you'll be able to go through, and you know, visually you'll be able to see that there's clearly a path that's been opened. Again, you can refill your ammo. This will be with all players if you're playing cooperatively. And all you gotta do is enter the boss battle through this portal. And for this boss battle, essentially what you're gonna wanna do is he's gonna attack you every time you are on a platform. And you can simply navigate by going over those teleporter boosts right there. So you just wanna kinda shoot him, and then as soon as he starts attacking you and that gets closer, you wanna just jump over to the next one. Once you defeat him, you can then collect the orb and upgrade to the final level, which is level 3, which is max health increased all the way to 100, right? Collect the second pendant piece, and there you go. Now this could be your last dungeon, this could be your first dungeon. Again, the order doesn't matter, just going with the order that I went in. The evil dark barrier is gone. You don't have to go through the maze, you can simply just exit to the right. The gnome will give you a coin for helping him, but also he'll let you know if you have all 3 of the pendant pieces to come back to him with that. Now, this might sound a little fishy at first, but believe me, he's gonna help you. Now, the last part area that we haven't gotten to is the desert. Now, before we like totally get involved with the desert, if you go over here, there's actually a rock that a lot of people seem to miss. Go ahead and break this rock, and you will have some coins that you can collect, a little secret area with a chest. Then what you're gonna wanna do is purchase this heat helm. Once you have enough coins, it's gonna be 150 coins, and you'll be able to withstand the hot desert. Otherwise, you will take damage going in here because the desert is just too hot. But now we can safely do it with the heat helm. We've got an item shop here with different items that we can get in the desert. And you're gonna wanna go to this driftboard area because you're gonna actually need a driftboard to get to the desert dungeon. As long as you have 100 coins, essentially, you can rent driftboards. And it'll give you 4 driftboards, so everybody can basically jump on one, and you can basically use the driftboards to collect coins. There's some cool obstacle courses and stuff in here for fun, you know, just to get some coins. And there's actually a secret part too that I can go ahead and show you. If you walk over to this area and go in here, you will see that there will be a secret coin that you can collect. Now, when you go over here, these are the heat waves that you won't be able to cross unless you have the board. All you gotta do is lightly jump over it. Might get damaged a little bit, but essentially you can coast on the heat wave and safely get to the desert dungeon. So you will need the board for this. And then essentially once you finish this, your board will go away. Don't worry, that is intentional. That's supposed to happen because now we are not required to be using that board in this area. And this is just a little puzzle with swift movement that I can open the seal. All you gotta do is activate these torches. You don't need a torch for this, you just have to activate it within 10 seconds. And as long as you do that, it will open the door for you into the desert dungeon, and you can enter. As soon as you enter the door, you're gonna be faced with 2 zombies. Go ahead and get rid of them. Now, for these puzzles, they're gonna be focused on reflection. So you'll see that you won't be able to get past the sand. It will basically be blocking you off. Go ahead and break this stone here and activate this light source. That'll actually hit the mirror, and the mirror will reflect the light onto that magical orb, which will allow you to go through. Hit the speed boost. We're gonna have a little bit of like a speed puzzle here. And as long as you're timing this right, you will be able to get through here and onto the next part. And it's the same type of principle. We're gonna need to activate that orb. And the first thing you're gonna wanna do is jump on this torch. Now, these jumps might be a little tricky and you might fall the first time just like I did. That's okay. Just take your time, be cautious of the damage barrier that's underneath you, and it's not that hard. I promise you will be able to get through this. Break that wall, because it's broken, and we're gonna have another block that we're gonna pick up, right? Now, again, note that you can't throw these blocks. I know it seems like it's intuitive to throw them, and I see players doing that, so I made sure to just make that really clear that you can't do that. You just gotta go to this area right here to interact with, place the block down, and bam, you can now turn that on, right? It'll reflect off the mirror and activate the orb, which gets rid of the sand, so now we can actually go through to this part. And we're at the last stage of the desert dungeon, and it's gonna be collecting the 3 pyramids, just like how we had it in the water dungeon. So you're gonna parkour up this rock, torch on the rails, and we're gonna grab that one right there. Easy stuff. For that one, we're actually gonna wanna go through this area. There's a freebie right there. We got 2 of them. And then we essentially gotta jump on this rail again. Take your time. Unlike me, I'm kind of rushing a little bit. It's a lot easier to fall when you rush. And this one, you just gotta get a good jump. And there you go. You get that last one. It'll disperse the sand. You can refill ammo and move on to the final boss, in our case. I have redeploys, so I can kind of safely go down, which if I didn't have them, then I would just drop down. And you're gonna have this big, giant spider boss, essentially, right? So all you gotta do is shoot the eye, and you'll stun him. When he's stunned, you can then hit his weak points. Once you destroy a weak point, he will get mad, essentially. So he has 3 weak points that you have to get, and then you just have to now dodge his attacks that he's throwing at you, which is his aggro state. So it's just a cooldown before you can, affect the spider, and you just gotta basically dodge his attacks. Once it's done, you can then stun him by shooting his eye again and go for the remaining weak points. And once you get all 3 weak points done, the spider will blow up and be gone. And then now for the last thing, you'll actually get a vial instead of a level upgrade because we're at max level, and it'll say, I can't even open it. It's kind of strange. I should bring this to the gnomes, right? So depending on what order you go through, you'll always get that vial at the end. It doesn't matter what dungeon you do. It just happens to be this one because this is my final dungeon. And then you can get the final pendant piece, exit the dungeon, and we can essentially complete the story. This will be the final frontier. And to exit this area, you just gotta go up this way and interact with this. It'll say jump down, and you can basically get back to the desert oasis safely. Now, we're gonna go ahead, once we have all the pendants and the vial, go to the gnome. It'll automatically initiate this cutscene. You basically have obtained the sacred pendant of truth, and this will essentially lead you back to your father. And once you're finished with that dialogue scene, you can then go back to where we started, where the hot air balloon is, and there will be a teleporter that enables, and that will take us to the title screen, or essentially the exiting. So if you didn't feel like you finished all the side quests and everything, you could actually go to the right teleporter, and it'll take you back into Archibus to complete things. But if you feel like you're all done and ready to end the game, you just hit the puzzle, and that is gonna be the end. If you guys have any questions or are confused about anything or want to give me feedback, feel free to reach out and comment on this video, or you can reach out to my Twitter at Spazy64. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy the map and have a wonderful day. Peace.